What we have here is a Creative Touch 1030. This is the Futura Bobbin system. It is the same bobbin in the Futura and 2000 Athena and Touchtronic, and it has, this machine has a complaint that it's not winding bobbins properly. You can see as we rotate the three-step flipper here, the centerpiece is supposed to rise, and I don't think this one is lifting properly, but to check it we need to go underneath and inspect and adjust the bobbin winding cam. I forget what. So we'll move the camera and take a look underneath. Okay, so underneath this Futura system machine, we've got this piece here, and as I rotate the lever in the bobbin area, you can see there's this piece here that's a three-step cam, and it pushes on the winding post. This winding cam is tiny. It's got set screws on it in hex. As you can see, it's plastic. This is very similar to, so these little set screws are technically an SAE size, but they're the one that's so small that 1.5 millimeter is very close. And these cams here, see they've got one, the first position is over here, second position in the middle, and the third position over here. This is the part where it's lifted to wind the bobbin, and it can wear along here because this is plastic on getting rubbed on metal, and also these develop cracks. This one has a crack here, and there's usually a crack here on this side around this lower collar, and if they're in really bad shape there will be a crack in the top part of the collar here. So I'm going to replace this since there was a complaint about winding, and this is also an opportunity to clean the winding stem here, because this shaft, while it doesn't spin inside here, both of these sections have to smoothly rise up and down. And as you can see, this machine had some permanent kind of brown stuff put on at the factory, so I'm going to take some time with some rubbing alcohol and just clean these shafts, and then clean the two holes the shafts go in. I'm also going to pull out, this is the lever, I'm going to clean this lever and the hole that the lever goes through. So there's a spring that goes in this hole, which is under this plunger here, and we need to make sure that spring is in place because that's what retracts the bobbin winding pin. Put our winder pin in, and then this plunger lines up in the spring hole, and then the drive peg for the spindle lines up in the hole in the bottom of the hook gear. And once the drive shaft is in place, and the spring will hold it out far enough that that drive pin may come out, so make sure that you, when you're pushing this back together that you get the drive pin back in place. The drive pin. Now the flipper shaft here has a clip on it. That clip sets the top clearance on it, and then you can either, after cleaning all this, reinstall your old winding cam or replace it with a new one. And since that one has a crack in it, I'm going to put a new one on. If your old one, if you catch it early, you can sometimes glue it if you want to, but alright, now setting this is always a challenge. Because you have to get the position of the lever on top in the right place. So I usually set it somewhere and just get the two set screws in this ramp kind of in place. This is not in the correct location. There should never be this big a gap on the arm, but what I'm going to do now is we'll tip the machine over and work from the top so that we can see where our post is, our driving pin in the middle. Okay, so you can see that I guessed far too high. Just got that cam in place. The drive pin is all the way up and it's clearly not over in the correct position, because the this is just the retention position, position 2 for this arm, and the wind position is way over here. So I'm going to carefully loosen the two set screws underneath. And rotate my winding cam all the way to the drive position and set my winding arm so that this guide on it goes to the just under this metal arm on the bobbin case, and tightening the two set screws underneath. And then I'm checking the winder post is pretty level there. Okay. You want to make sure that the winder post is level on the section here when it's retracted and when it's in the held position. And I'm actually going to lower this a teeny bit because it's not quite level in there. So supporting the cam from underneath, and loosening the two screws and letting it slip down very carefully, and then tightening the two screws. There we go. Now this is smooth across here. And when we shift into winding mode, it still lifts pretty high. Okay. So that is the adjusting scheme for the Futura winder. If you're having trouble with your bobbins not winding, it's usually this winder cam part, because as it ages, those cracks allow it to sag and it won't push the pin up in the center for driving as well as it should.